gamers. Today, we're going to be doing how to play French in Season 12 and most likely Season 13 as well, because I doubt French is going to change too much. I haven't been making guides for a while, build order guides, so just want to give you a quick update. I will be making a guide for every single civilization that needs guides updated, or there's something new or a new build order. And if there's not, the old guides are still good. If you want to learn English, I already have builds posted, whether it's 2TC aggro or whatever. On top of that, mastering, how to play this civ or that civ like a pro, aka Season 2 that I've been doing with mastering English, mastering French, will continue as well. I think we are on Japanese and Byzantine with that. We're going to do today a new, kind of like improved aggro French guide without pro scouting. And then we're going to do new Rus guide, no Mongol guide, no Abbasid guide, no Delhi guide, no HRE guide. And then we're doing China, Ottoman, no Malian guide. Then mastering Byzantine, new guide for Japanese, new build order guide for Japanese, plus mastering Japanese, and so on and so forth. Obviously, with the other civs, we're doing the same things. So that's it. Let's get into it. French right now can be played in quite a few different ways, in my opinion. You can do the cock build, you can do 2TC build, depending against which civilization. You can do pro scouting. Or you can do, this is probably the simplest way to play French. It is very straightforward, so I'm going to teach you how to do it, okay? So basically, this is a wheelbarrow opening. This is something that's been popular for a while. I just haven't made a guide for it, I think, ever. So what we're going to be doing is the moment the game starts, we're going to put 2 villagers on food. 1 is going to build mill and then the house. And then we're going to send 3 on gold, okay? So that is the build order. It's kind of like an HRE build order. Now, it might seem like we'll have too much gold, but we're not, because we're going to do wheelbarrow straight away. Now, why are we doing wheelbarrow in Dark Age? We're doing wheelbarrow because we want to get all the eco upgrades with French, and we might as well get it in Dark Age so that we get that economic bonus from it, from villagers being able to carry more immediately, okay? So, this does delay your feudal a little bit, but it is very, very good and very, very strong. Now, to answer the question that I'm going to get immediately, which is what happens if you get Dark Age rushed. If you get Dark Age rushed, by now you should know, probably, unless you're super new to the game, which civilizations can Dark Age rush you. So those civilizations are English, Japanese, HRE, Mongols. There's probably more civs, but you kind of get it. If you play against those civs, what you should do is scout them straight away. So your scout should beeline across the map and see if they have barracks or not, okay? If you see no barracks, you continue doing what I just did, like you do everything exactly like this, and you rally onto the food now until the age up. If you see barracks, what you should do is not cancel wheelbarrow. So this is a thing that a lot of people think that, oh, if you see barracks, you should cancel wheelbarrow and age up. You don't need to cancel wheelbarrow. What you're going to do is you're going to pull 3 or 4 more villagers onto the gold immediately and just get enough gold to age up. Okay, so that's your plan. And having wheelbarrow against Dark Age rushes is really good, because now you moving villagers left and right is not that painful anymore. So have that in mind. But yeah, we're gonna rally onto the food until we age up. You can see the villager count right here. And even though we put 3 on gold straight away, we're gonna have, actually we're gonna have even more gold than we needed, but that's okay. Just making it very simple for you guys to do. So we're almost at the age up. We're gonna age up with School of Cavalry. We're gonna age up with 4. And what we want to do now is we want to make sure we have enough villagers on food so we can produce knights consistently, while also chopping wood so we can produce houses and whatever else. I'm going to show you 2 games, by the way. This first game is going to be against 2TC, so you can see how you can be aggressive. And the second game is going to be a bit more wild, let's say. So right now we're aging up with 4. We're leaving 3 on gold, and I would advise you to put 7 or 8 on food is plenty. Okay, so 7 or 8 on sheep, so that you can, once you finish aging up, you can get a knight. Now in this game, there was some weird scouting. You're not gonna run out of sheep, you should not, but there was some weird scouting and I had to stay out on the map. But I already scouted the deer, so I'm just going to go on the deer right now, which is okay thing to do. But you usually want to stay on sheep. If you've opened on sheep, stay on sheep. Second game I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you when I go on deer immediately. Which is also very, very good. And if you scout deer immediately with your scout, you should always go for deer straight away. As long as you're not playing against Dark Age Rush Siths, right? So, the worker split we're looking for is going to be 12, 6, and 3. When these guys finish aging up, you're going to put them back on food. Now, we should already be starting night, but because I had to go on the deer, the night is going to be a couple of seconds delayed, but that is okay. We're getting survival techniques. And now what you want to do with your goal is, number 1, produce villagers. With your food, produce villagers and knights. With your goal, you want to be producing knights and be getting those upgrades. So we're gonna get specialized pick. If I had all my workers on sheep, I would get horticulture instead of survival techniques. I would get survival techniques a bit later. And you also want to get double broadaxe eventually, but for now we're only 6 on wood, so it's nothing to rush to. And specialized pick, we do have 5 on gold, but we're gonna get a lot more soon. So, what do you want to do with these knights? Well, you want to try find damage as always. Nothing has changed. Important, this is either like a heavy pressure build or an all-in if you think you can end the game. So do not lose your knights, okay? Do not I don't want to trade this one knight for one villager. That is not worth, okay? I want to be getting as many knights as possible. Now, I'm going to pause right here for a second. There's 2 options here, okay? Number 1 is the standard. You add a archer range now, and you start rallying onto the wood, and you make archer plus knight. If you are more experienced, or you just enjoy this kind of style more, you can also open double stable into double archer range, okay? So there's two ways you can play this out. That's completely up to you. There's no wrong answer. So even though he's going spearman, I'm going double stable because I will be able to mass a lot of knights, which will allow me to do massive raids. But I could have also gone archer range and immediately rallied archer across the map and try to poke. But this game, because my opponent went double TC, I don't really have where to attack, so I just decided to go 2 stables instead. But like I said, you can do both. If you do 2 stables, you want to make sure you have like 8 to 10 villagers on gold. If you're doing archer range, you want to start having more villagers on wood, and you don't need 10 on gold because you're producing less knights. So right now, I'm just running around trying to do damage wherever I can. And the benefit of this style is that you are the one putting pressure, and it's very important you're across the map and putting pressure, because if you're not, this will be exposed and then you need to build towers. So if you're playing defensive, you need to build towers, which means less army. If you're more aggressive, that means that the opponent will have to sit in their base, and you can exploit that as much as possible. We can get Blacksmith right here with the double stable, producing knights. We're gonna get +1 ranged armor, so that we can, dive TCs a little bit if needed. Now, one thing to mention is, if you're wondering why are we not doing pro scouts anymore? Well, like I said, you can. So, basically, if you want to do pro scouting, you will open exactly same way, even with the knight, except you're not going to get specialized pick or horticulture or double broadaxe. You will just get pro scouting. So you can do that. Now, the reason I'm showing you this style is because this allows you to have more units earlier on, and you get the full value of deer. Because if you pro scout, you obviously lose some food as well, okay? So that's something you need to be considering, right? But both are completely fine. So now we're getting horticulture as well, getting +1 ranged armor. If your knights get damaged, so if one of your knights is like 50% HP, you don't need to get chivalry. But if you had like some kind of fight and a lot of your units are lowish HP, then get chivalry because you'll get good value out of it. But right now, no need for me to rush it because I simply don't need it. Once we have this split of 15 workers on food, 10 on gold, we're gonna start rallying onto wood, and we're gonna add archer range in a second, and we're just going to keep making archers, keep making knights, make more archer ranges, and just really propel ourselves forward. So right now it might be looking equal in the army count, but obviously 7 knights, soon 9 versus 10 spearmen is better for me. On top of that, all my eco upgrades, or about all of them, are going to be done. So double broadaxe is the last one we're getting, because now we're getting more and more wood. And we already have blacksmith upgrades. We're missing +1 range attack, which we'll get soon. Meanwhile, he only has wheelbarrow. That's it. So from now on, we're just going to pump units only. And because I'm being super aggressive, my opponent can't go on the map. He cannot go on the deer or the second deer pack on the boar. So he is going to be forced, if you look, he has idle already. He's going to be forced going farms super early or going out on the map and then dying. So both are fine with me. So now we're just going to spam units. And as you can see, I didn't do any risky raids. I didn't commit to diving or anything like that, because I know that my opponent is running out of food. See that? So I know that if the game stays like this, and eventually I get boar and second deer pack, and he's just on berries and has to make farms, I will simply have way more units. So if you look right now, it's 15 against 16, 16 against 16, but army value, I have more than double right now army value compared to him. So if he went out, I would basically just mow down his whole army and I would win the game straight away. So he can't leave and he's just stuck in his base. Now, if I did pro scouting, my eco would be safer, but I would have less units and less pressure. So that's why it's, you know, there's some benefit to it, but there's downsides to it as well. Now you can try to split some knights on one side, you know, some knights on the other side, but he defended both sides. He had spearmen here and spearmen here. He actually moved them just now. But if your opponent doesn't play perfectly or defend perfectly, you can always get some damage done. If you look, I go in here, the villagers move, and I say, okay, let's not dive, let's not lose HP. No need to, right? We're ahead. We're behind on workers, but that's okay, because if you look at the gathering rate right now, I have 1,500, 1,600 income, and he is on 1.5k, but no gold, right? And he's about to run out of food. Have that in mind. He loses the scout here. Now we're going to go on the boar. I'm on his deer here, so he can't do much. And, like I said, the army value of mine is just way, way, way stronger because I have so many knights. I have so many knights I can almost just kill him with knights. I don't even need archers at this point. Now, I had a second scout here, and I just saw that he went on berries here. So the moment I see that, I'm like, oh, you went out of your base, so I'm just going to punish that straight away. So it doesn't matter if he had a wall here, I would just break it with units and just go for it. So he has to run because my army is bigger. I'm getting chivalry now because none of my knights are actually hurt. I get 4 villagers there, and now you want to do the standard archers and spearmen, knights, covering the archers, and you want to have your knights on horsemen, right? So this is, again, nothing new, but you can see the moment he left his base outside, I forced the fight, killed 4 villagers, traded a lot better, and now I'm just gonna gather my army again, and I'm just gonna go for it. Now, one mistake that a lot of lower league players do is they think you have to make rams to win a game. You don't. I'm not gonna make a ram this game, and I'll win it, right? So people think, oh, you gotta kill the TCs and then the opponent will surrender. Once you have enough units, you can just dive the TCs. They don't really matter. So, which you'll see this game. So now we go here, we kill the tower. Look at this idle time, 35 villagers being forced to move. These farms are idle. He's trying to farm here, but obviously he can't. And yeah, he's just in a lot of trouble. So now we just go in. He sends the spearmen. The horsemen are trying to intercept me, which I'm like, okay, cool. A couple of spearmen go down. And because these horsemen are here, initially I was going to chase him, but then I realized, well, I don't need to chase him because half of his army is here. I can just dive the TC and kill everything that there is to kill. And And you can then fix your rally point here so that your units don't die to horsemen over and over. And now he goes for some kind of engage, but like I said, it's just, he's just too far behind on units, and it's very hard to recover from this point on. I'm just running through his base. I don't need to even kill villagers. I just need to force idle time. And you can see I find his farms. And I'm like, okay, let's just park around here. And he is not gathering food at all. So that's one way to win. Like I said, you don't need rams. You can just idle your opponent's eco completely, and they will eventually give up. So now we have reinforcements. He's going here with 30 villagers because he doesn't really have other option. These guys are idle. There's villagers garrisoned. We find these over here. And after a short struggle, he's going to give up. Great name, by the way. Tuklak Shakur. And he just taps out. So this is like... I played, I think, 4 French games today. This was like perfect how to do this build. Like, the game couldn't have gone better. It went smooth. And again, this is if your opponent plays passive. Now, one note, you can also play like this if your opponent does fast castle, because you can just bully on their gold. So even if they age up, it doesn't really matter, because then they won't have gold and eventually they will run out of food. Let me see, which one was the one where I went deer immediately? I just want to show you the start. It's a bit of a different, this is a weird game. What do you do if China builds Barbican on the Sun in your base on gold? You just go to the other gold, because now they don't have anything, because he did a pretty YOLO thing, Barbican in your gold. I think this is the game. Look, I'm doing the same build. Look, right? But I immediately see the deer. When this happens, just go on deer straight away, because deer gives a lot better income. So just go on deer straight away. So look, this is where I see them. I just cancel this and I go... Fudge it. Let's go, baby. And that's it. So, don't even think about it. And we're going to get survival techniques first, because obviously we're gathering deer, and we're going to gather second deer pack eventually, and the boar. So you're going to get this first, and then you're going to get wheelbarrow. Okay? This is just a lot of food. And once again... have in mind, if you're playing against Mongol or Japanese or any Dark Age Rush Civ or like Ottoman, don't go on deer immediately, because there's a very high chance they will open barracks. But if you're playing against civilizations that don't open barracks, you should always, always, always do this, okay? So yeah, once we get survival techniques, we're gonna get wheelbarrow, and you're going to want to put a 4th villager on gold, okay? The reason for that is, you spent extra gold on survival techniques, and you're getting wheelbarrow, and on top of that, deer has a lot greater income than the sheep, so you're gonna have plenty of food and gold. This game, I'm just gonna speed through just to show you guys something. This game was a bit of a weird one, which is why I didn't include it for like the build order part of the guide. I'm just showing it to you so you can see another style you can do, I guess. So I opened the same way, which is knights, and instead of going archers ever, my opponent never made spearmen, so I just made another stable instead. I went triple stable. So if you're playing against whatever civilization and they don't make spearmen, you don't need to make archers, because archers kill spearmen. So if the opponent is making also only knights, or like elephants in this case, or I don't know, something else, just keep making knights. If they're making mass horsemen, you make mass knight. So only make archers if you see spearmen or you see barracks. Don't automatically be like, okay, stable, archer range, whatever else. You must see the spearmen in order to make archer range. Otherwise, pure knight is the way to go. So I don't want to keep you guys here around any longer, because the rest of the game is just me chasing around with knights and killing stuff. But that is how to play French in Season 12 and probably 13. I would advise you to, if you want to play French and you like the micro style in AOE4, French is a very, very good civ for that, because it is very, very micro focused and it's all about fighting. It's pretty straightforward. It's all about fighting. And it's very, very strong in Feudal Age, and it has some pretty good timings in Castle Age as well. This is the GG dog. The next guide we'll be doing is going to be how to play Rus with the new build order, with the new hunting cabins. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. GG dog is waving as well at you guys. And if you're watching live, let's keep going.